Despite having very minor roles, Inferno is still damn entertaining. He was so entertaining to the point where he got inducted in the Transformers Hall of Fame. It's not hard to see why. Inferno was an exaggeration of his alt mode, the Ant. For example, he would call Megatron his queen. But it was also a dangerous foe to the Maximals, being a pyromaniac and his unwavering dedication to Megatron. Story-wise, he did do some notable things, such as preventing Tarantulas' chances from escaping Earth, causing the death of Tigatron's friend Snowstalker, etc, etc. Inferno is a total madman, and we just all love him so much. And out of all the characters far more entertaining than important, Inferno gets to reign supreme.
Covert Agent Ravage at your service.
Kicking off the top 10, we have Ravage from the Agenda 3-parter. Despite only appearing in 3 episodes, Ravage actually makes quite a decent impact to the story, being sent by the Tripedicus Council to apprehend Megatron. He is a great surprise for all Transformers fans alike, canon-wise being the original Ravage reformatted into a humanoid Predacon. And it was ultimately Megatron's message from the Golden Disc that Ravage is convinced to join the Predacons, and would do so briefly before he is incinerated. Only appearing in 3 episodes, and Ravage has memorability to all Transformers fans. Only appearing in 3 episodes, and Ravage fits neatly to the story. Only appearing in 3 episodes, and yet the writers made Ravage such an awesome character. In short, in such a small amount of time, Ravage was both pivotal to the plot and very charismatic.
I think my name is Silverbolt. Yes, pure, strong, and fast.
Out of the 2 fuses of the show, Silverbolt was the most prevalent character. Not only because he has more screen time than Quickstrike, but also because he was a factor in Black Arachnia's redemption. Silverbolt is willing to break maximal rules in order for his beliefs. But then here comes my biggest gripe for Silverbolt. His entire character is only built around by Black Arachnia and nothing else. Any action that Silverbolt does is because of Black Arachnia. The only time where Silverbolt has a major role without any involvement from Black Arachnia is in Transmutate. And after his debut episodes, the writers immediately focus on his love interest with him and Black Arachnia. Silverbolt wanted to save Black Arachnia from a Predacon shell program when many other Predacons in the series are infected by this as well. Inferno had the same fate as Black Arachnia. Why couldn't Silverbolt try save him? And why couldn't he try save Quickstrike as well? He is technically still a Maximal. The only reason why he sided with the Predacons is so that he had more chance at beating up people. Fortunately, that's my only nitpick for Silverbolt. As for the rest of the show, he's quite frantic and really enjoyable. His character dynamic with Black Arachnia is super entertaining to watch, and Silverbolt isn't really much of a plot device. He's his own character, his own being. He would do anything to protect his lady, and we certainly can't forget his corny lines.
Megatron anticipated your treachery. That's why I'm along, to eliminate you.
This is easily my most controversial opinion on this list, as I know many people aren't really that fond of Scorponok. Trouble is, I love this guy to bits. Unfortunately, in terms of relevance, Scorponok just falls a little bit flat. Hence, it really pains me to put him at number 8. I must admit this though, I found it pretty annoying when he didn't develop through the course of season 1, but everything else for me is pretty positive in my books. So Beyond a Hero, why do you love Scorponok so much? I mean, he's the second in command's character and he's only just starting out on his job, meaning that he's not entirely perfect in said role. But either way, he'll still contribute as much to the Predacon cause as possible. And for me, I find that oddly inspiring. Perhaps I'm just a very odd person. And although he wasn't necessarily a major character, he still had some very small yet badass moments in the show, such as blowing up Cheetor, literally firing Dinobot out of a Predacon crew, fighting the probe that would have sent the Maximals home, using his Cyber Bee for reconnaissance. I mean, I could just go on and on. The guy is just a jack of all trades. Sadly, Scorponok may not be the best character, but to me, he'll always be my favorite.
My ears are burning. Yes.
For the main antagonist of the series, Megatron fits the bill perfectly. He may be charismatic, but he's also seriously cunning and a dangerous threat to the Maximals. In contrast to Optimus Primal, I felt he had more of a benevolent presence, given that he's such a sadistic leader and he'll bash anyone who tries to betray him. And yet, he's just so charming and clever that you just can't bring yourself to hate him. He almost reminds me of Hades from Hercules, but just without the godlike abilities. And on this point out, we're looking at the most famous Beast Wars characters. Characters that make a huge impact on the story and are loved by many fans alike. And Megatron here was no exception. It's just a shame that Beast Machines turned Megatron into a generic big bad with a sudden hate for organic life, and Transformers Kingdom Megatron doesn't exist. Megatron and Beast Wars, however, was entertaining and threatening. A very unique combo for a very unique villain.
Is it okay that I think Black Arachne is super hot? Is it okay that I think Tarantulas is super hot? Does it mean I got a thing for robots? Or spiders?
Next up, we have one of the best female characters in the Transformers mythos, Black Arachnia. For the first few episodes, I honestly didn't really like her that much. She was just a random side character that didn't really do much. And when the writers added her traitorous aspects, I thought, oh, come on, this is Pterosaur's job. But then Pterosaur died, so Black Arachnia's existence was justified. I grew to appreciate her a little bit by the end of the first season, but then I really started to like her at season 2, not only adding more dimensions to her character by including her relationship with Silverbolt and the abuse from Tarantulas, and she slowly realizes that power doesn't mean everything, and she becomes a better person because of that. And by the end of the series, I grew to kinda love her. Black Arachnia was almost a perfect character. Just terrible start, that's all really.
Oh, yes, sir. You know, I feel just heaps better knowing that our lives are in your capable hands. We're all gonna die.
From that very quote that I chose to ease us into this segment, I knew I was going to love Rat Trap. And judging that he's on the top 5, yeah, I think you know my answer. He may be an arrogant fella, but he stays loyal to the Maximals. He's not only great in his Spotlight episodes, but also he steals the show in any scene he appears in. He starts the show off as a bit of a jerk who only saves people because it's necessary, to a nice yet a bit of a snarky guy. And even though he didn't get an upgrade in season 3, he still remained a prominent character, from infiltrating and blowing up Ravager's ship, to preventing tarantulas from consuming Cheetor, shutting down a faulty defense system, diving underwater in a bid to retrieve Sentinel, and many, many more. And we definitely can't forget to mention Rat Trap's friendship with Dinobot, evolving from Rat Trap being conspicuous to the former Predacon, to having quite a good frenemy relationship. The only real problem to me is that he doesn't really make a huge impact to me as a viewer. He is a fun character, don't get me wrong, but the next 4 characters just truly make the Beast Wars special.
Stop looking for revenge and do something to help. It's not revenge I'm looking for. It's justice.
I often try not to throw the term edgy around, because normally when characters try to be edgy, they're more like, oh, they killed everyone that I ever loved, so now I'm gonna kill everything that they ever loved. Fortunately, Dev Charge's goals and characterization was executed really well, being a security guard searching for Rampage. But instead of capturing Rampage, he tries to kill him. He is the most darkest Maximal in the entire show. Because of the destruction of Colony Omicron, all Death Charge ever feels is resentment towards Rampage. He rarely helps the Maximals, as he made it his life mission to destroy Rampage. And he only helps the Maximals out if it benefits his mission. He has no respect for Optimus Primal's crew, due to him having suspicions that they would accidentally release Rampage's stasis pod, and he was right. He was apathetic to everyone till the very end. He is not your typical misunderstood edgy protagonist. While these characters do bad things for the right reason, Death Charge does a seemingly honorable act, but is too cynical and selfish to his own beliefs to not let anyone help him. Combine that with Rampage's Frankensteinish behavior, and it makes one of the most memorable rivalries in Transformers history. Adding the fact that all Rampage wants to do is to inflict pain because that's all he ever felt in his life. And instead of relating with the latter, Death Charge just wants to kill Rampage for what he believes is right. And Death Charge's final line is haunting to me, and it really makes me feel that even though he's a man of justice, he too has become an empty shell of a man, and he's now a monster himself.
Energon, right through your twisted spark. Take it straight to the pit, you sickening piece of slime.
When I first saw this legit gave me chills down my own spine, especially adding Rampage's twisted laugh and Death Charge ending both of their depressing lives. This is a true anti-hero. Death Charge was filled to the brim with apathy, and he only really truly cared about his self-proclaimed agenda. Death Charge may have claimed that he was out for justice, but in reality, he was truly motivated by revenge.